That's not any type of ship I recognize.
The fact that you do not know says much. We are the Starborn, and you are unworthy to possess the artifacts.
Tell us, please. What are the artifacts? What are they for? Did you make them? What gives you more right to them than humanity?
Answering your questions is exactly what we cannot allow. Abandon your thirst for knowledge, or drown in it. We are growing impatient. Cease your attempts to stall for time.
But you speak our language.
We know everything about you. That is why your kind cannot have the artifact. The more you understand, the more damage you will do.
How could just knowing what you are be dangerous?
Our distance from you is the whole point. We interfere now because we must.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the scans. Energy output from that ship is far above the normal range. If we spin up the grav drive now, we have a chance. We'll get through this. Hold on.
Will we be stopping for food? I would not mind trying something, and there are plenty of options. Again, who do you think will be the first to ask us questions? Mateo or Noel?
How is Neon? Are you okay? No. Wait, what happened? Who was after you?
Take a look at the ship's sensor data. I think everybody needs to see this.
All right, I'll start transferring the data over now. Let me just bring it up on here at the table. Is that a prototype? No, that material isn't anything we... What the... Everyone, come take a look at this.
That's no faction vessel or Crimson Fleet. Secret military tech, maybe?
No United Colonies Admiral approved that starship design.
They call themselves the Starborn. Demanded we hand over the artifact. Like we were children, playing with their parents' things.
What do people know? Any offshoot groups go by that name?
None in any corner of the settled systems I've seen. Maybe a distant human colony finally popping its head up? Another house for Rome?
I very much doubt that.
We ignoring the obvious here? A heretofore unknown group who just happens to know about the artifacts. I'm just gonna say it. Intelligent alien life, or extra-dimensional beings. The original creators from the furthest fringes of space.
Or beyond even that. Is the metaphor of avenging angels coming down to keep humanity from forbidden knowledge not apt here?
So, we have a lot of theories, but nothing concrete. Except that they're after the artifacts, and they're willing to take them by force.
No settled systems lab made these things, and I doubt one of them made that ship either.
So, we got some weird extra-dimensional beings that coincidentally decide to build their spacefaring vessels exactly like we do. Not so sure about that.
Noel, start analyzing all the data from the ship sensors. The gravitational wave they caused, scans of their weapons, shields, everything. We're in the dark. We need to learn anything about them we can, including some way to fight them if necessary. Until then, we stay the course. Collect the artifacts. It's even more important now that an intelligence we don't know or understand is looking for them. That ship could be anywhere in deep space. Even if we got lucky, a single grav jump and we'd lose them. All we can do is be more cautious, but we are not stopping. This could end up being a race we don't want to lose. Vladimir, has the Eye picked up anything new?
Some glints of shine in the dark. Ready to hand them out as soon as you please.
All right. Good luck, everyone. And be careful out there.
Oh, sorry. Was doing the tally's work in my head. Inventory on the station. Next supply run.
I know everyone's excited by the artifacts, but we need to be as objective as possible and be aware of possible negative effects.
You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance. Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor. No telling the exact number, but they're getting harder to find. Got some equipment, repairs, and upgrades on the making-do list. The Eye's straining to her limits these days. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then. It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the Eye full-time. You mean what could be the biggest discovery in the history of humanity? Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Scans are still inconclusive, but I think we've seen enough to know that we're dealing with something potentially even more unusual than the artifacts. There are so many questions beyond just who are they? How did they find you? How do they know about the artifacts? Why has no one ever seen them before? Yeah, well, I'm worried whether or not it's okay. It was one thing when this was just about us investigating the artifacts. A weird phenomenon that didn't come with creepy threats or questions about aliens or whatever it is that's going on now. I know we'll figure it all out in the end. It's just kind of a lot right now. Stay safe, okay?
If you need something, I've got your back. Take care of yourself.
Yes? Until next time.
Good luck out there on the fringe.
Hey, I hope Cora doesn't get too much. Yeah, I was done too.
Hey, Walter. Did you follow up on that investment tip?
It appears you may have provided
We've always
information
considered
that
ourselves
Stroud Eklund
explorers.
could profit from
This
in the
really
future.
is uncharted territory,
Yes.
isn't it?
Ha! No need to thank me, Walter. Just slip a few credits under my pillow when you can.
You can gloat all you want, so long as you tell me how you came by that information in the first place.
Why, Walter?
Keep both
I'm
eyes on the
offended.
back while you're out there.
What kind of man do you take?
Make sure those starboard.
You have your
don't creep
methods,
up.
I have mine.
I'd like to talk to you about something, when you have the chance. Sarah's the best possible person to be running Constellation at a time like this. Focused, no nonsense, and dedicated. Not my first time in a hostile negotiation, as you well know. Admittedly, I usually know more about who I'm facing off against. I'm very interested in what Noel can learn from the scans. The technology on that ship was impressive, to say the least. If there's a chance, we could learn enough to duplicate some of it. I got to where I am by taking advantage of opportunities, no matter where I find them. Might as well make the most of this crazy situation. Oh, right. I was afraid you were going to bring that up again. Very well. Let's see if I embarrass myself or not. My colleagues, I venture out into the darkness of space once again. Many of you have expressed concern. At my age, you say, surely the risks are too great. Surely Sebastian Banks has earned a rest. Nonsense, I say. To go out into the unknown, to brave the possibility of never coming back, to ignite the spark of hope that humanity will find answers out there in the stars, that is all I have ever wanted. If this last expedition is my time, then I say I have been fortunate. I have been fortunate to leave surrounded by people who could not be more different from one another, but who share a common purpose. That, dare I say, I am fortunate my soul has a home it can always come back to. And that was the last thing Sebastian Banks ever said in the lodge before he disappeared. And Constellation has been waiting for him to come home ever since. I want you to know I was very impressed with your work back on Neon. I'm beginning to wonder if there's anything you can't handle. I'd like to test that theory. My Star Yard's been having a little trouble getting our next project off the ground. I need someone capable and decisive to step in and steer it in the right direction. Interested? As you know, I'm a busy man, running a company, helping to manage Constellation's financial needs. It doesn't leave me with much time to get into the weeds with every little business venture that comes my way. Besides, think of this as a rare opportunity to help shape the future of a major consumer brand. Of course, now that I know you're interested. It's a new ship. We want to diversify our fleet. Now, I don't know why the people I pay very handsomely to come up with new designs can't seem to get out of the R&D phase. And frankly, I don't care. I just want someone, you, to go there and show them how it's done. R&D needs to happen first whenever work starts on a new project. It's a natural stalling point since we need to make so many big decisions. In this case, we're talking about looking at our existing fleet of ships and using data we've gathered to see what consumers want. But of course, each member of the R&D team can interpret that data to suit their own confirmation bias. I'm guessing that's what we're seeing here. To be honest, I prefer it. I have professional designers, and obviously they can't do the job. They're floundering. And as I've seen firsthand, you dabble in all spectrums. Blue-collar work, exploration, fighting. I could go on. What better person to tell those overpaid muckety-mucks how to build a ship for the discerning consumer? Excellent. I'll send word ahead to the project lead, Jules Degante, that you're taking point. They'll all be instructed to listen to you and follow your direction. I expect big things from you, so I'm excited to see what you manage to deliver. I don't believe you'll let me down.
Walter, I hope I'm not overstepping here, but you don't seem to spend much time at home. How is that not a problem for your wife?
That is a rather personal question, but I'll indulge it. I'm told that when I'm not here, I'm distracted by what I might be missing, and wind up crabby, or, my personal favorite, irascible. It has been determined that for the long-term health of our relationship, that I am better off here, rather than simply making things worse at home.
Okay then. I guess if you're both okay with it.
Fascinate me.
Books? I guess it is. Do you have more books, or can you buy me more books? With real pages, a spine, the whole package. My book allowance is all gone and Dad won't get me more. So, books?
Hey, don't let her con you out of more credits. Her book allowance damn near bankrupted me.
Dad, this is between us. Oh, Dad, you've made the best friend ever.
Well, now you done it. Now you can get pestered about books nonstop.
Yeah, a small price to pay for my education. Now, the important question. Pizza. Favorite topping? And please don't say cheese. Dad loves boring old cheese. Did you hear that, Dad? Meat! We have you outnumbered!
We could always get one of each.
No, you lose. I have decided that I will stay. You have the Cora stamp of approval. I, seem to have left my stamp back on Dad's ship, but imagine it there, on your arm. Cora approves.
very soon. Could we talk? Here, I have something for you. Yes, well, it seemed like a good idea. I saw it earlier and thought you might like it. Or find it useful. Or, well, whatever. Of course. We are partners, are we not? I will keep an eye out in the future. And if I see something, I might hold on to it for you. Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions. After all that we have seen, I am not sure that we are not. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone. It did not sound that way to me, but I suppose we will see which is true. Clearly, these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand. I am never worried. Cautious, perhaps. It has always been necessary to prepare for the unexpected. This is just a bit more unexpected than usual. It seems to be how things go here in Constellation. Yes. Given our first interaction with them, that seems likely. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do.
It takes a strong mind and a good eye to sell art.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here. No shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Keeps us on our toes. Nothing else? Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. They've been coming here regularly for the last couple weeks, and all they do is sit on the balcony and watch the UC surplus. I thought I heard them mention a robbery, but I'm not sure. They seem to know I'm onto them, so they stop talking about it when I'm around. I'd rather you didn't. I want to make sure I'm right about this before we go to security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
It's nice to see a fresh face around here. You're
about to crack. Nah, that's just what they want you to think, Louis. You see security around here? No, but nothing. I say we strike while the iron's hot. I got a feeling that goody two-shoes at Kay's place is gonna rat us out.
She was giving us some serious signs the last time we were in there.
See? No time like the present. We'll do it tonight. It'll be fine, trust me. We'll be in and out in time to make last call at Jake's. If Rick's info is good, so be a piece of cake.
If you haven't, make sure you say hello to Mama. She likes checking in with everyone. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. We have to get the authorities involved before they can go through with the robbery. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. He'll look into it. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. That'll get him on your side. Sort of. He's a regular customer, and I've reported crimes to him before. He's more fair-minded than most of the Wells security officers. Thanks. Let me know when you've made the report, okay?
Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfortable.
Let me know if I can help you.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Never. What I wouldn't give to be stationed in the Embassy District. Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. It's a military outfit for one thing. Most criminals don't want to make an enemy of the UC. The guy who runs is pretty intense, too. He wouldn't think twice about shooting a would-be thief. That's so. Nobody in the Well's more reliable than Teresa. If she says there's a problem, I believe it. You can tell her I'm personally looking into it. That should ease her mind. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
Of course, the one thing the UC can manage to put is a security station down here.
That was quick. How'd things go with Officer Endler? I knew I could count on him. He always handles this kind of thing fairly. Thanks for your help with this. I feel a lot better knowing security's on patrol down there. Don't take it personal if I don't stop to...
We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really. Yes, there's absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find the treatment. He works topside at Reliant Medical. It's easy to find. It's right between Mast and Orion Tower. Dr. Lebedev is always there. I've seen an uptick in cases of sick children in the medbay recently. They all seem to be presenting the same symptoms, but I can't identify the cause. It isn't serious enough to kill them, but I haven't found an effective treatment yet. That has me worried. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
I asked my boss what they're doing this stuff. We may leave it tax on.
Nice hat.
There are a few injuries that can't be addressed here. If you walk in, you will almost assuredly walk out. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you.
A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. How can I help?
Sick children? Well, we can't have that. I'd be happy to help. Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids. Welcome to Reliant Medical.
for the relatives of the deceased, offering their sincerest condolences.
Three gunshots this week alone. I guess we know where UC Security's priorities are. If you need patching up, we'll see what we can do. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you.
Just one quiet day. Not too much to ask. Ever run into spacers? Scumbags and scavengers.
I do find that statue pleasing. I wonder if it matches the original vision of the artist, or if they changed the design as they worked on it.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
I find the interior of this ship comforting.
Hey, how's it going?
Always a pleasure. I wanted to talk to you, but honestly, I don't know where to begin. The Starborn's technology is simply astonishing. It's just almost too much to process. Of course not. No one has. If an encounter with this level of importance had occurred in the past, I assure you that Constellation would be well acquainted with it. Yes, I suppose I am. But you can hardly blame me, can you? You do understand the significance of this encounter, don't you? This is humankind's first contact with what I believe is an alien race. A race with technology that could be far superior to our own. Oh, we could learn so much from them. The way they behaved, I'd say that's not very likely. If we are to learn anything from the Starborn, we're going to have to take the initiative ourselves. Oh, I do. More than you'll ever know. Can't be a coincidence that these Starborn suddenly appeared after your experience at that temple. We know they're here to lay claim to the artifacts, but what's their true motivation? What aren't they telling us? It's very disturbing, especially with all of that cutting-edge technology at their disposal. Damn. Oh, if only we knew more about the Starborn. What their species is like, where they're from, how they're able to speak our language. I feel like a cadet on my very first day aboard a spaceship. My mind is absolutely swimming with questions. No, not time travelers. I don't think the science is there to support that theory. Their name alone, Starborn. There's some type of hidden meaning there. Something that feels very old, perhaps even ancient. Whatever the case may be, I can assure you that Constellation intends to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm not really sure. Scientifically speaking, we're all born from the stars. Most of the chemical components of our body, carbon, oxygen, sulfur, are exactly the same as those manufactured by internal stellar reactions. Now, ask someone like Matteo the same question, and he'd probably give a more theological answer. But hey, it's all a guessing game anyway. Exactly. We must use all of the tools at our disposal to learn more about the Starborn and their connection to the artifacts. I'm grateful you feel that way. And don't worry, I promise to be careful. You know, it's funny. When I was a little girl, I'd lay on the ground and stare up at the stars. I was absolutely convinced they held a secret. I'd remain there for hours in silence, eyes closed, listening, waiting for the secret to be whispered in my ear. This encounter with the Starborn is that moment to me. The stars are finally whispering, and I need to hear what they have to say. Truthfully, I haven't the slightest idea. But just the thought that any of the secrets of the universe could be revealed from these Starborn is terribly exciting. Although I'm flattered that you think of me that way, there's a time and a place for that sort of talk. This is definitely not one of them. Well then, I've certainly wasted enough of your valuable time. Just do be careful if you cross paths with these Starborn in the future. I wouldn't want to lose one of the most valuable members of Constellation.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.
Thrusters firing.
Allen Star Yard is here to serve you.
We have a clean dock, right on the money.
It is good to be back in our own ship.
Walter is quite proud of what his company has accomplished, and for good reason.
Everyone else will follow.
I understand. I'm all for new technologies, but your average consumer doesn't need that sort of maneuvering capability. And Mike is saying there are technical reasons your design won't work.
You're asking for technology that doesn't even exist, Frank. I'm good at what I do, but you're mental if you think I can pull off what you're asking. Tried and true is what we should focus on.
Tried and true is so dull, though. I like Frank's design, but maybe we could pivot it to more of a research vessel? Something suited for deep space exploration.
That's a great suggestion, but you know what? We haven't heard from Nev yet. Maybe she has some marketing insights. Okay, but what if... Sorry, hear me out. What if we went for the family recreation demo instead? It's a much bigger market than Explorers, and no one else is doing it.
Oh, seriously?
That's a little different than I think we were all expecting, but a really good point.
I also worry that would limit us. Great.
Hey, back up. Nev's got a point. It's something we could easily build. And I'm sure the number crunchers could make it turn a tidy profit.
Thank you.
But I do think a solid, no-frills ship with a large cargo capacity would be even more practical and doable, given our time frame.
Look, everyone, we need to come together if we're to succeed. Let's change direction and do a little thought exercise. Okay, fine. Maybe we should all just go back and develop our ideas some more before Walter's consultant, friend, whatever they are, gets here. The decision's apparently out of our hands anyway. Hello. Hi there. It might surprise you to hear that no, I have not. This is actually the first project I've led for Stroud Eklund. I recently graduated with a master's degree in engineering management. I'm actually kind of surprised they hired me, but I was at the top of my class, so maybe they didn't want to lose me to some other star yard. Anyway, I'm grateful for the chance to do good work here. It means I'm responsible for making sure our projects are carried through to completion. I'm not the one calling all the shots per se, but I do need to ensure the people making those calls are empowered to do that within the limits the executive set for us. You must be Walter's colleague. He informed me that you'd be taking charge of Project Kepler despite the fact that we have a fully dedicated R&D staff already assigned to it. But that's okay. I'm sure that even though you have virtually no experience with this, you'll do a great job. Great! That's great. Cool. Well, since we have no other choice, let's get to it, shall we?
Oof. That is not a good sign.
As you probably know, we're tasked with coming up with Stroud Eklund's next hit starship. But we have budget concerns, market research to finish, and we can't seem to agree on a design. So I guess Walter sent you to resolve these issues. Have at it. Sure, I'm Jules, R&D project lead. was the one making all the big decisions. I suppose I just coordinate now. You already heard from Frank. He's lead designer on the project, focused on the look and feel of the ships. There's Ella, another senior designer. She focuses on some of the more technical designs of ships. Went to school with Frank.
Mike is our senior engineer responsible for consulting on all the technical bits, the machinery, the computer systems, etc. And then there's Nev. She's here for marketing. It's her job to weigh in and sell this thing to consumers. There are a lot of factors to consider. Who is our market and what do they want in a ship? Which components are we putting into it? How fast should it go? How much cargo capacity should it have? What color should it be? We need to decide every little detail. Okay, good. So, before we can do anything, we need to resolve the budget issue. We were charged with building the newest, hottest ship on the market, which won't be possible unless we petition the board for more money. So we have two new budget proposals. One will allow us to build what I consider to be a very sensible ship, but we'll have to make some tough design cuts. The other will allow us much more flexibility to put whatever we want into the ship. It's what I call the kitchen sink proposal. I don't love it, but it'll be next to impossible to approve. What should we go with? I'd love to, seriously. It would be a huge win for us if we came in under or at that budget. But none of the viable designs for this project can be made for that amount. I've already rejected that budget, so I have to go to the board regardless. And since you're now responsible for the major decisions, which budget proposal we go with falls on you. It's more that we can only choose certain design elements at the expense of others. In other words, if we go with something in Mike's design, there's not enough money in the budget for what Ella wants. That's one of the reasons we haven't been able to agree on anything. While it's true we'd be able to afford to put anything and everything into that design, it's just not practical, and the board will put more pressure on us to see that it succeeds. I worry that without constraints, my team will be disincentivized to focus this ship in any given direction, and they'll try to cram in everything but the kitchen sink, hence the name. Who knows what kind of monstrosity we'd create if we tried to incorporate all of our designs? And would something that expensive actually sell? That sounds good to me, but remember, this ship will have fewer bells and whistles. We're not going to be able to include everything we want. Frank's luxury design has the most expensive components, and we've been having trouble convincing him to move away from that idea so we can stay within the budget. We need his help. Do you think you can get him to budge?
I am right here, you know. I already gave my answer to Jules. We got nothing. Okay, I'm thinking. You can't be serious. This goes beyond what I want. I am thinking for the benefit of the entire company. I've thought about this as much as I care to. No, sorry. This is my vision, and I won't have it compromised by silly budget concerns. We need that bigger budget, or else why are we doing this at all?
That's what I was worried about. See what I'm dealing with here? Well, I'm still not convinced we should go to the board asking for a ridiculous new budget. So how do you want to proceed? Well, I'm all ears because it's going to take a miracle to convince them. A smart leader knows when some ideas just aren't worth pursuing. I hadn't considered it that way. It gives us some wiggle room if we need to try some things, and if we come in way under budget, it'll look good. I'm doing a fine enough job as it is, thank you. Look, I know you're confident with this budget, but I know there's no way I can get it past the board, so if you want it, you're going to need to figure out how to get it done yourself. Wow, that's really generous of you. That should cover what we need. Okay, yeah, why not? Let's put everything we can into the design.
I suppose this will move things along, but is that really the best use of your credits?
Great, that's one problem solved. I'll go forward with that budget proposal and we can move on. Next, we need to gather some market data. The best way to do this is to outfit your ship with some sensors and take it through some real-world scenarios so we can make more informed design decisions. Well, Mr. Stroud believes you fit in our target demographic. We heard about some of your adventures, and we tend to agree that getting data from someone like you will be helpful. Frankly, most of our test pilots played a little too safe, and the scenarios we run don't push the limits as much as we can get away with legally. But luckily, we don't have those same concerns with you, because you're not technically employed by us, and Walter trusts you. Great! Just pick up a mission or two at the mission board and proceed like you normally would. We'll collect the data when you return. If you take on a variety of missions, we can build a ship to handle a variety of scenarios. But if you just fly one mission, we can build a more focused ship. It's up to you. In the meantime, you might also want to talk with the team, get to know them, give feedback on their proposals, etc. Good luck out there.